This video has been over a year in the making, and I owe a big thank you to my friends at ECS Tuning for their patience. Today, we're making the last video on my Mk5 R32 because tomorrow, my good friend Sam, who you may have seen in videos way back in the day, is flying in from New York to buy this thing. Here is what I think will be the solution. This is a valved exhaust from my friends at ECS Tuning. This is my big complaint with the R32. Hear it, how raspy it is? So it just doesn't sound good. Whatever this resonator delete is just made it really raspy. I mean, like, you should be looking forward to doing tunnels in your VR, and I like doing them with this much throttle pressure. So that's the only time it sounds good. As soon as you give it more, it doesn't sound good. Hear what I'm saying? It's just, we need to fix this. I had a Mk5 GTI, like way back in the day. Also, please don't chirp me about this wire hanging down. It's been hanging down for like 8 videos now. I need to fix that, all right? I've been a busy guy. There haven't been many YouTube videos recently. I could either spend time doing that or doing this, and I'd rather be doing this. Anyway, back in the day, I had a Mk5 GTI. It was United Gray. That was the car that really got me into the Volkswagen scene, that got me into the YouTube game. There's all sorts of stuff that car did for me. Anyway, I found this car a year and 3 months ago, like Thanksgiving time of 2024. I had just sold my B5 S4 and I was looking for another project, and this thing was in rough shape. When I found the car, it had been sitting for 6 years. The previous owner basically, he said fell asleep at the wheel. He was a nice guy. I'm not gonna say otherwise, but we found some stuff in the car. Anyway, he said he fell asleep at the wheel, he sideswiped something, and so I took this car and we did a full ground up glass out restoration on it. I mean, I spent a month at Mike's Autobody. Like, neglected all of my other responsibilities and just did that for a month. That was kind of crazy. But the result is a tornado red car that doesn't have any clear coat failure on it, which is also kind of crazy. And then, to be completely honest with you guys, ECS sent me the exhaust while I was painting the car. So it's been over a year, that exhaust sitting in my basement. And it's one of those things that, like, I didn't really drive the R32 that much because I had the all-road, and then I had to drive it for a little bit while we were working on the RS5. And then once I finished the RS5, I found myself not driving the R32 anymore. And so, like, if this was basically like the backup plan, and I didn't want the backup plan to be down. Plus, like, to be completely transparent with you, the whole wiring thing in the engine bay for this valved exhaust kind of scares me. They have a great DIY, and I'm going to follow it, and it's going to be fine. But when I have something that I don't necessarily understand how to do, my mind will procrastinate that activity. I don't know why my brain works like that. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but if there is something that I don't quite understand that I can avoid, I'm gonna avoid that until I absolutely have to address it. So tonight we're going outside of my comfort zone and we're gonna wire up some stuff in the engine bay. It'll be fine. It's not even wiring. It's add a fuse and cut into a vacuum line. But I don't know, for some reason my brain is like, no, don't do that. And that's why it's been a year since I've installed this exhaust. Little cart of tools right here. Is that it? There's just one hanger? Use the old hanger removal tool and take that thing right off. All right, so that thing is off. Okay. That's taken care of. Now we should be able to pull this guy down if it's not hung up. There we go. Oh, little hidden one. Sneaky bastard. That feels like a 14, I guess. Oh, the top is spinning. Stupid. Oh, I didn't even hit my head on the impact. That was pretty impressive. That's a little bit loud. I freaking got her. I put my safety glasses on and my hearing protection, and I put the big dog impact on her. Went right through it. I should have done that from the beginning. Hurt my fingers though. There we go. I got the vacuum line off. Oh, that was a process. Now that we've gotten the fun part out of the way of dealing with old rusty clamps, we could get to installing the valve controller, getting it power, and then finding a vacuum source. Luckily, the entire ECS DIY shows every single step. You can see Sam and I constantly referencing it. We ended up getting power from where the 4-cylinder fuse would plug in, but because it's a 6-cylinder, obviously that's empty, and that means we have keyed power. The only thing left to do is run a vacuum line. We have the vacuum line all the way back here. See where it comes out of that black panel? We drop that down all the way. So now we just have to zip tie it from there. At this point, the microphone on my camera died, and the only audio for this entire clip was... Wonderful. Here's Sam with the ECS valved exhaust. We're gonna go ahead and get that installed, and I'll show you where we wired it to. This clip is me chirping Sam because he insisted on using hand tools, even though we had an impact available and the slightly lower torque ratchet available. As far as how it's run, there's a vacuum line that runs down there up to the actual controller. The controller then gets power, and because there's a constant vacuum source, the controller is then able to apply that vacuum to the exhaust or take the vacuum away from the exhaust, separate from any external vacuum source, which means that we can actually control the valve with a remote. Oh, it works. Come back here. Yeah. So it's closed.
So
Maybe it doesn't read. Hit unlock or lock, it will open it. Yeah, look at the actuator. Wait. Okay, go. Yeah, we did it. We wired the add a fuse into an empty one over here. Now this fuse is for, yeah, that's nice. This fuse is for cylinders 1 through 6 ignition coils. This fuse is for cylinders 1 through 4 ignition coils. So both of these are only gonna have power, I think, when the engine is on.
correct.
Because why would you give power to ignition coils?
Mm-hmm.
So we're plugged into the 1 through 4.
Very nice.
All right, we got tips on, we got everything tight. Do you have a remote? Yeah! Hit the button again. Do it again. It's so funny. Valved exhausts are so cool. Much louder. Nice. All right, come on back. Definitely loud.
This one?
No, that's south. I'm gonna open the valve underneath the bridge, okay? So you just hold it at 1 RPM underneath the bridge.
Okay. I'll do like 2400.
Yeah, and let's change. So we're in quiet mode. A little loud, a little more. Did you hear it? It like kind of roared for a second, then went away.
There's a more high-end rasp to it.
So my complaint with the factory exhaust with the resonator delete that the guy did is that it was too raspy. This has cleared up the This has cleared up the raspiness. Yeah, hang it right. But for Sam's taste, it's a little bit loud. So if you're someone like Sam who thinks that loud exhausts are for other people,
Boy racers.
There's a nice front section of this exhaust you could chop in 2 sections and put a resonator in, and I bet you that clears up every sort of volume issue that you have, but keeps a clear tone, because the tone is way better with this exhaust than it is with the, oh, we're supposed to go right here, but you can go straight too. The tone is way better with this exhaust than it was with the stock exhaust. It just needs some volume refinement if you don't like loud. Now keep going straight, this is gonna be a bumpy section. Overall, the tone is exceptional. Again, maybe a little bit of control down low with the resonator would be nice, but that's 50 bucks on Amazon and a couple Sawzall cuts. Hang it right here.
Yeah, I would say the top end sounds great.
Top end sounds really good.
Planning.
I'm sad to see the R32 go. I'm glad we got to do one more mod before it left, and I'm glad it's going with Sam. So she'll be loved, she'll be pampered. I'll get pictures. I will share the pictures to Instagram. Thank you again to ECS Tuning for the patience. And I guess the next clips will be Sam driving off in his R32. So that's all I got for now. We'll talk a little bit more about the R32 when I get back inside. Oh, I'm not supposed to show that. I'm not super thrilled with the fact that the microphone didn't get most of our audio clips. Overall, to describe the sound of the ECS Tuning exhaust, it has a much clearer tone, Now again, I think it does fall on the loud side, which I like. Not necessarily something that Sam wanted, and so what he's probably going to do is throw a resonator in the system, which solves pretty much all of the problems, and it's super straightforward to do. They even leave a perfectly straight section in the catback to do exactly that. I don't think that was their intention, but the main complaint that I had before that was that the tone was awful, and this completely fixed that, so I'm thrilled about that. Overall, my time with the R32 was exceptional. It was a great project. I really enjoyed learning everything that there has to be about this car, and it really was interesting to go into this one with the comfort level after taking the motor out of the B5 and swapping the all-road, because I was much more technically willing to take things apart, and as a result we learned things like plastic welding, and you know, I did my first water pump on my own and stuff like that, which to some of you is like, whatever, man, but to me it's a massive step up that I'm just comfortable doing that at this point. So the R32 was great. I am going to miss it. I'm excited that it's with Sam, and that means, like you saw at the end of this video, we have other projects coming. So thank you guys for watching. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.